All right, today working on the Bravada, Oldsmobile's version of the Blazer and the Jimmy. Got a lot of little things wrong with this truck, but I picked it up from a friend. 400 bucks. Started out 800, went down to 400. It should have been 300, but hey, I'm not going to complain. 4.3 liter motor, one of the better motors that GM Chevy makes. Super clean. I mean, you really can't complain about something like that with late 90s model truck. Air conditioning works. Everything with the motor and the drivetrain is sound, but there's numerous little things wrong with this truck before I even attempt to get in it and drive it. So today I tackled the stabilizer bushings, the bolt and the bushings that actually holds the stabilizer bar onto the control arm itself. And over here is what I had to deal with. These are from both sides, completely worn. And at first I didn't think they was actually on there, because what they did, the previous owner, is they actually, I guess the stabilizer bar itself broke through the bottom washer and bearing of the bolt, and it must have been dragging or something. But what they did is they actually rigged it up on the tow hooks. Right here you can kind of see this tow hook and then this tow hook. And what they did is they just flipped this bar right here that you're seeing. They flipped it around the front of the truck and used the clothes hangers to tie it, which was just astounding to me. I mean, I paid 20 bucks for the best, parts, bushings you can get, which is his Moog, their Moog brand. So I got that side on, but it's still loose. I still have to come over here to this side, which is dark. You're not going to be able to see. You can actually see the hole in the stabilizer bar hole, which goes in exactly like I have the other side. But I'm not a professional mechanic. I don't have any degrees, anything like that. So I'm just a backyard guy. Intelligent backyard guy. Figure shit out. But those bolts were rusted so bad that I could not get the bolt. And I'll come back over here. There was no getting this off. Right there is what I had going. There was no just using a ratchet and just ratcheting this bolt here out of this sleeve. So what I had to do is right here, I used bolt cutters. I cut away the neoprene bushing so I could see the bolt, and I cut the bolt in half, got all that cleaned out of there. And then it was just a matter of flipping the sway bar, which you see right here that they had tied to the tow hooks. It was just a matter of flipping that up to this hole here, which I thought, cool. This is easier than what I thought. Everybody was right. This is not hard. But there was no way, thank God I had this little scissor jack. There was no way of getting this last, right here, this last neoprene bushing, this washer, and starting this nut. It was no way it was going to be possible. It just wasn't compacted enough, because of course the new neoprene bushings are, thicker, they're brand new. So I had to get the scissor jack and actually crank up on the stabilizer bar enough to get it started. So even at being at a shop, if you had a lift, I'm not sure how easier that would been. You would have had to get some kind of vice grip on, which I don't know. If it was at a shop, they'd have probably just put it back on the ground and did it the way I did it, because I don't see how you could get a vice grip in here and on the bottom here and compress this enough to get that nut on there and get it tight. And there's absolutely no YouTube videos on this. None. And that's what I usually resort to, is of course going to YouTube. But there's none. There's not one video on how to get that up there on there, that bolt there, and all the neoprene bushings, and get it tightened down. So that's kind of, you know, did what I thought would work, and it did. And it's took me, I don't know, if I stayed on it, maybe an hour. And you're talking about, you know, a major part of the suspension that these people, these previous owners, was driving without that. I don't know. I guess technically, yes, it's safe, but no, it's not. You hit a big speed bump, something gets caught. I don't know. It's just, I can't, there's no way I could do that. Especially when each side only costs $10 a side, and you're talking, you know, Moog, the best suspension part, you know, that you can get straight out of a parts store. You know, it was just beyond me. But I wanted to make a video to kind of show how this went, and it was pretty smooth having the right tools for the job, which, you know, I don't have everything perfect. Look, I got it like a jack with a center block and everything, holding everything up on both sides. You know, this is by far, you know, my single car garage, as you can see. You know, this isn't, you know, pulled in. I got, you know, I don't have air tools and all that stuff, but I can get shit done. And it's kind of a project, you know. I figure I'll have maybe 1,000, 1,500 in it at the most, and it'll be a pretty sound vehicle. Leather interior, air conditioning works. The next project will probably be this one, which is the door hinge right here. Getting this door hinge out of here. It's broken. I can no longer close the door. Well, they couldn't either. They had it taped, and the guy I got it from, my buddy from high school, he actually was inventive and used a bungee cord to hold it in to get it here. But that's the next step. The third step for in here in my garage will be replacing the leaf spring shackles, which you can see here. All this rust is just for me touching the back of it. And you can see here, if I go up in here, it's completely gone, rotted out. Like, one side of it is about halfway, but it's all rusted out. And that's going to be the next thing. I'm going to do both sides. This left side's the worst, but I'm going to do both sides. So, you know, do a walk around with the vehicle. The paint is almost perfect on this late model's vehicle. Newer tires. It's just a project that I got going, that it'll be a daily driver, but I do have goals for this thing. Probably put 17-inch rims with a real low profile looking off-road tires. It is a all-wheel drive vehicle. It's actually a smart track, not four-wheel drive that you put it in. By no means is this going to be a mud vehicle, you know, taking it off roads and, you know, doing anything like that. But I want to give it some little bit of a look, you know. So the 20-inch rims was just too much. It was too much for it, and I couldn't have put an aggressive looking all-terrain tire on that. I think it does come. I think these are 16s. But I just want to make a video. I had some extra time today because of the rain off work, and that's pretty much it. You see the new bushing here, which looks very great compared to what it was. I mean, it was nothing there. So brakes look good. This gives you a good time to inspect all of your suspension parts. It's an average, you know, Ohio vehicle, so it's going to look a little rusty, but I beat pretty much all the surface rust off. I'm going to clean all of this up, soak everything in WD-40, clean all the suspension parts up. But all the suspension parts look good. I mean, all the neoprene bushings everywhere. You can't really see because it's dark, but they look good. And I'm going to get back at it and get this other side done. So it's just a you know, roughly 10-minute video of the overview of this Oldsmobile Bravada. It's just like the Jimmy, And the Blazer, it's just like a better version of it. It's everything's leather, everything's top notch for the late 90s. So we'll be doing some light mechanic work like this here in my garage after, you know, my daily job as being the roof whisperer. So if anybody needs any kind of you know, light mechanic, I wouldn't really consider this light mechanic work though. This is kind of moderate. This isn't for, like, you know, the guy that has a 9-to-5 job in his khakis coming home, and I don't think he could really tackle this. It's kind of, you got to be innovative and adapt and overcome. One of the few things, like, you know, what I had going on today. But that'll be it until I get the door latch. Then I'll make another video of this, and we will see this truck in progress from, you know, week to week. Not trying to do everything in a day or two. It's just a little vehicle that I got for cheap that I'm going to put a little bit of money in, and then after I get done, it'll look really nice, and it'd be a great, you know, SUV for maybe a 16-year-old. Just saying. Camping, fishing, all that. It's a vehicle you're not going to worry about getting a little scratch on, which, I mean, is kind of, I don't know. I really wouldn't want to get it scratched because the paint is almost perfect on this vehicle, and it can be buffed out. And I mean, it's pristine. It's shining right now, and the vehicle has been sitting for months. So, but all right, that's enough. I'll keep everybody informed on the next video, which will probably be middle of next week, and that'll be on the door latch. Alrighty, see ya.